Waiting on Councilman Anderson here, so gets here. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Today's a great day, and there being a quorum of council. Today is March 31st, 2026. I hereby call our meeting to order. I would like to welcome our special guest, Congressman Mark Harris. Thank you for being here, sir. Thank you. He's a fine voice for our area in Washington, D.C., and I'm proud to call him my friend. I'm thankful for him to be here, everyone who put this together. I'd like to introduce our city council, Mayor Pro Tem Saluda Anthony, Councilman David Dotson, Councilman James Carr, Councilman Franco McGee, Councilman Gary Anderson. We also have our city manager and our city attorney, Mark Watson and Richard Long. We also have a couple other staff here too as well. We have our members of our airport commission too here, Congressman. If you would stand when I call your name, please. Commissioner Chairman Gary Wolfong. Brooks Durham. Christopher Cooper. Robert Fulton II, or third. So that's my daddy's name. There you go. And John Stevens. Thank you all for being here too. It's a very important day to go over all the great things happening here. We also have our Economic Development Advisory Board with us. Stand when I call your name. William Chad Griffin, or Mr. Chad. Okay, we have our Senior Vice President of Plastics here in the Charlotte Pipe Foundry. So that's he's going to have a great presentation for you here too, Congressman. Randy Adcock from American Bank and Trust, CEO. Is he here? Yeah. Okay. Jeff Duke, our Process Innovation Manager at Asa Abloy. He's right over here. Thank you, sir. Jonathan Edwards from Tyson's Food, our Complex Manager. Oh, here's over here. Drew Lawrence of Lawrence & Associates. And Clint Lawrence of Lawrence & Associates. So at this time, Congressman, I'd like to welcome here our City Manager, Mark Watson.
Thank you, Mayor. And Congressman, it is a pleasure to have you here visiting with us in Monroe. And for those of you who may be wondering, the reason for this visit, number one, is the Congressman has never been to the airport for an official tour and greeting like this. And number two is the Congressman was the first of our federal representatives who issued to us a letter of support for our grant that we were seeking funding for the new aircraft control tower. And that's special, and we just want to thank you for your quick response and engagement in that process. So thank you. A few quick things about the airport. We have 14 hangars here, 3 which are privately owned. The rest are owned by the city. There are 80,000 operations here annually, and this airport ranks in North Carolina as the second busiest general aviation airport in the state. Johnston County edges us out just a little bit, but I have a feeling that that's not their reign. Number one is not going to last that much longer. Corporate air traffic travel is really the area where we're growing and expanding most in right now. We've seen a 30% increase over the past really 24 months in the amount of corporate air traffic coming into Monroe. And as we think about how we market this asset, really what we have to sell here is convenience. We are 33 minutes via the Monroe Expressway from downtown Charlotte. I would challenge you to get from Charlotte Douglas International Airport during traffic to downtown Charlotte in 33 minutes. But we have flights that originate and come in here from 48 states. And we have flights that come in here internationally from Europe, from England, Germany, and the Caribbean on a regular basis. And as you met these folks out here with the port director for U.S. Customs and Border Security, this is the only general aviation airport in the state of North Carolina that has a Customs and Border Security Patrol facility. So it is a tremendous asset. Want to tell you a little bit about this air traffic control tower project. So these gentlemen over here are very familiar with the project because they have lived it, talked about it, debated it for now years, and it's coming to fruition. And it was a lengthy process. We are participants in the federal contract tower program, which means that the airport or local funds build the tower, furnish the tower, and the federal government operates the tower. So they supply the manpower to actually operate the tower. The way that works in this region is the individuals that work the air traffic control tower in Charlotte will be assigned to come down here. They go over to Concord, and so they flex back and forth like that. So it's a tremendous program. The state of North Carolina General Assembly was gracious enough to provide us with $6 million seed money to get this project started. And I think it was spent about 12 months ago, we learned about a special grant opportunity while we were in Washington visiting with you and the folks up there. Special grant opportunity specifically for these federal contract towers. And because of the shutdowns and those delays, we didn't know exactly when we were going to be able to apply. So I told the staff, the many staff that are here that supported this effort, we're going to fill out our application. We're going to get all the information we think that they're going to require on that application. And the day it is released, we're going to fill it out, and the next day it's going to be submitted. So that's the way it worked. We were one of the first submittals in. Our application has received favorable feedback to the degree that the FAA has asked us to be bid ready in September. So Talbert and Bright, as our engineers over here, they've done the initial design work and cost estimates and those types of things. They are working on the bid package right now. We are on track, on time, and we are ready to deliver. And we're seeking $11.5 million, and that will complete the project. You saw from the air where it was going to be. You saw the great view at the same height that the tower is going to be, up and down the airfield. So it's going to be tremendous. One of the things that has prohibited aircraft from using this facility to its fullest extent, especially corporate aircraft, is the fact that corporate risk managers don't like their planes flying in to an uncontrolled airspace airport. So we've worked to eliminate a lot of those concerns, but this tower will be the final, you know, hopefully stamp that brings everything together. That's just one project that we have here, and I was just looking. We have some photos here, and as you can see, these are these should be very familiar to you. We're here. The air traffic control tower will be here. We have several other projects to improve our airport. This being the next most immediate project will be the total replacement of this apron right here. The funding is coming partly through federal government and through the state of North Carolina, but this apron will be, the asphalt will be taken up, the base will be taken up, new base put down, new asphalt put down, and at the end of the day, this asphalt will be strong enough to hold, I think no, there it is out there. The big, I believe that's a 550 or a 650. G500. So right now you can't park a G500 out here because it will sink up into the asphalt,
Right.
especially on a hot day. But when it's strengthened, we'll be able to park the larger planes out there, in addition to the smaller planes. So that's step one. The ultimate goal will be to strengthen that runway. So right now, the runway is only can handle 65,000 PSI. We need to get it to 95,000 PSI so that when the larger jets, the G500s come in, they can come in or take off full of fuel and full of passengers. Right now, they have to moderate how much fuel they have on, how many people they have on board to keep it under a weight limit. That's restrictive to folks that want to fly in here and do business. Because if I tell staff and I tell city council, every time one of these bad boys lands out here, the cash register goes cha-ching. It's money. Money is coming into this community. People are coming here to do business. People are bringing jobs here. They're bringing investment here. And we need to do everything we can to make sure that they have a good experience and that we can meet their needs when they come into here. So these projects kind of run in reverse. You have to have a place to park the plane. The next is the taxiway, which you saw look like a little bit like a snake. It's got some curves in it, and it's got some narrow places in it and things like that. So this is project number 2, and that will get strengthened to the 95,000 pounds so that when a plane lands here on a 95,000 pound runway, you know, it doesn't sink up into the asphalt on a 65,000 pound per square inch taxiway. So you do this first, and then the last piece of that improvements will be to strengthen the runway. That is 6 to 8 years into the future. We are working on funding for that right now, just to kind of plant that seed. Plant that seed. The last project we have, of course, is the wildlife fence that you saw and then I spoke to you about. I also spoke to you about our new business model for developing hangars, where we take, instead of issuing public debt to build those facilities, and really if it's a public building, if it's a publicly owned building, there's no ad valorem tax being paid on that. So you're trading that public debt for 4 income streams: the land lease, the ad valorem tax on the building, the business personal property tax on the aircraft, and of course all the fuel sales that the person wants to buy. Lastly, I'll mention to you our engagement of Chris Schwecker, Deputy Director of the FBI, to come out and do a security assessment here of the airport. This is not your sleepy little airport anymore. There's a lot of big business going on here and a lot of investment sitting on this airport. So there'll be a new security fence that runs down through here and new entry points here onto the airfield. So that in a nutshell is really the Reader's Digest version of what we've got going on here. But all of this really is to support our local industry and the investment and the jobs that they bring here. So, Chad Griffin, would you come and just talk for a few minutes about the importance of this facility and what it means to Charlotte Pipe and Foundry, Charlotte Plastics, and your ability to actually do business here in this area. So Chad Griffin.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you for the opportunity to be here this afternoon. I really appreciate the opportunity to discuss the importance of the Charlotte Monroe Executive Airport with such an influential group. My name is Chad Griffin. I do serve in the role of Senior Vice President of Plastics for Charlotte Pipe and Foundry Company. I'm also a lifetime resident of Monroe and Union County. Having that perspective, I've seen so much growth and improvement in our area over my years living here. And today we're talking about one of the most important areas of our community that has had great advancement and improvement. So why is this airport so important to Charlotte Pipe? It extends all the way back to when we decided to get into plastics. Our third generation owners, we're now a fifth generation owned company, but our third generation owners realized back in 1967 that we needed to move beyond our traditional soil pipe and fittings and get into plastics. So we started looking around for a place to do that. This area provided a great workforce, good road infrastructure, a community that we as a company could become a part of. But another major benefit and what became a principal deciding factor was the site selection this close to this airport. Now, as y'all all know, a lot's changed in the 59 years since 1967. When we built that first little building along Old Charlotte Highway, we've now grown into that facility that you saw across the street or from the air earlier. We've grown into quite a sizable operation, employing over 500 local people, many of which are our friends and neighbors. Our footprint has also grown in plant operations around the country. We are now in Texas, Pennsylvania, Florida, Alabama, Utah, and just built an operation outside of Wichita, Kansas in a little community called Mays. So while our company has grown and changed, one thing is not, and that's the importance of this airport to our business. Well, in reality, that's probably not completely true. It's even more important now. So access to this airport's even more important now than it ever has been before. When you think about Charlotte Pipe, you may know us as all the big blue buildings. You don't see us advertising on billboards. You don't see us doing TV commercials to get our products out there. Our best way of marketing is relationships. And one of the best ways to do that is to bring customers to see our facilities. And that's what we do with this airport. Beyond the essential expectations of a quality product when they need it, we have to have that good relationship, and we get that when they meet our people in our facility. And this has created great opportunity for utilization of the airport. In 2024 and 2025, our plane recorded 58 total operations in each of those years, and we look to see that grow in the future. Now, as Mark alluded to, for us to take full advantage of exposing customers to our plant, we need to get the maximum benefit by filling up that plane. And as our company has grown, our plane has grown as well. Our current aircraft, we mentioned it before, is a Gulfstream G500 that has a capacity to carry 15 passengers and crews. It's actually sitting right out here today, so we set that up for you, Mark, so it had the plane perfectly here. Actually, we got lucky. We have a group in from Texas today who is touring our facility, so we're making use of the airport today. Fully loaded, our maximum ramp weight and takeoff weight exceed the airport's runway, taxiway, and apron limitations. So it makes some trips really tough to do, or as Mark said, we have to get creative to make it happen. We're excited to see the plans to upgrade the apron, taxiway, runway connections to a dual wheel weight bearing capacity of 95,000 pounds. Then we can have a fully utilized plane. So while marketing our customers the primary way we take advantage of this airport, at times we use planes other than ours. We bring net jets in here to utilize the airport. I remember a recent occurrence where we had a problem at one of our satellite plants and we needed to get a crew out there fast to make the repairs. So we hired net jets. They came in, they picked up our crew. It was great because they're close to our associates. We got them in, we got them to the plant, and we got them back out quickly. So this location works out well for that as well. Now, regardless of the size of the plane, safety and efficiency are essential. And speaking with our pilots, a couple of them are in the lounge as we speak, unless they're over there behind the curtain listening. They're excited to see this tower on the horizon. For them bringing that plane in with its size and speed, mixing in with much smaller and slower and all different sizes of planes, they're excited to have a tower that can help make their operation much safer and much simpler. You know, my route to work takes me all around this airport. So I live on the other side of town, so I come all around it. It's been exciting to see all the work that's been happening around the airport, cleaning up and the fencing. Now, I figured that was to keep some bad actors out. I wasn't thinking about four-legged bad actors, but the pilots tell me it's great to have that protection to keep the deer off the runway, which creates a real safety issue. Safety is always first for Charlotte Pipe, so we applaud any and all efforts to make safety a greater influence over here at the airport. So we very much appreciate the culture of exemplary service demonstrated by the management and staff of this airport. They do an amazing job. Malcolm and his team are wonderful. We appreciate that. And with the completion of these improvement projects, the Monroe Airport will be positioned to meet Charlotte Pipe's aviation needs for years to come. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Chad. Chad, we really appreciate you coming over and articulating those needs and how you use the airport. There's, you know, I could never do that as effectively as you just did. But it is important. And Chad and Charlotte Plastics' story is repeated time and time again for folks that want to come in and use the airport. Now, I'm gonna share some numbers with you. Okay? City Council, y'all have not heard these numbers before. Okay? So get ready. When we talk about the economic impact of this facility, okay, what does that look like? And that's the reason I really wanted you to get the bird's eye view. Now we're going to talk about what that looks like in numbers. So the total acreage in and adjacent to the Monroe Corporate Center, and as I explained, this Monroe Corporate Center was developed by the City of Monroe, the vision of the Monroe City Council, and the investment of Monroe Electric and Energy. Okay? 1,232 acres. Right now, 872 acres are occupied with 360 acres unoccupied. The majority of that, about 200 acres, belongs to Union County and is along Gold Mine Road down here. There's 47 different, what I would call commercial industrial residents or tenants in this immediate area surrounding this airport. The total value of the acreage, $89 million. The building improvements alone, not counting the machinery inside the plants, just the building improvements alone, increase the value, in addition to the $89 million, $374 million in buildings. Buildings alone. 4,900,000 square feet of manufacturing space. Wrap your mind around that. 4,900,000 square feet of manufacturing space in this corporate area, right here. New projects. The city of Monroe and Union County have been working cooperatively on economic development for some time. The city and the county have taken a little bit different focus, and that focus is more related to, you know, the things that are really the priorities for the city of Monroe, and then the county has its priorities, but we work very cooperatively together. In the last 16 months, the city of Monroe has worked with 7 new projects, and we get contacted several times a week by major projects that are just putting out feelers. You know, I'm not talking about these 7 projects are just, you know, gathering information and a lot of talk. These folks, these 7 projects have bought land. They are either in the engineering design phase or they are in the construction phase right now. The total additional square footage in addition to the 4,900,000 square feet, another 1,100,000 square feet of manufacturing space is on like the immediate horizon. That is a 23% increase in the total square footage of manufacturing space, and all that has been created in the last 16 months. The new building value is another $86 million in building value, and $86 million, bringing the grand total of property and facilities to $524 million in investment. That is $500 million in investment just within arm's reach of this room, literally. This area's hot. It's hot. Those numbers are not projections. They're not pie in the sky. That's what's actually happening here right now. The more reason we need the kind of investments in this facility. Again, every plane that comes in, they're here to do business. They are here to do business. We have a wonderful staff that has orchestrated this today, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say thank you to them. Do you have any questions for us? Because we appreciate your interest and everything that you've done for us thus far.
Well, I don't have any questions, but I just want to say thank you to all of you for what you are doing. You know, I'll be excited to report back to the White House that when the president says that America is the hottest country now, that he needs to come see the Monroe Airport, because this is the hottest area that seems to be developing at a very rapid pace. And certainly are grateful for these incredible numbers that Mark has been able to share with us here this afternoon. I am committed to making sure all throughout this district, I'm convinced that if we are going to help, and if we as the federal government are going to put funds in, it needs to be in development in ways just like this, with your airport and with the transportation. When you stop and think about what can happen with Concord and Monroe and Charlotte together, the impact can be incredible, and this is an important place for that. So I want to thank you, Mark, for what you have shared today and the information, for all of you that are serving, and for the vision that you've had for this area. And we want to keep being that voice. We want to keep being a voice that will stand for this community and get the support that is needed. And so couldn't happen without the hardworking people of Union County that continue to step in and step up. So thank you.
Absolutely,
Thank you again.
absolutely. You're welcome.
What you've
Mayor,
done here.
any council? All right.
Thank you.
As I've mentioned before, we do have a federal facility on this airport.
Yes.
And they are very interested in meeting you and having you tour that facility. Now, I will tell you that there are people in this room that have worked for the city for more than 20 years that have never been allowed in that building.
Okay.
So we're going to go tour the building real quick with a walkthrough, and it'll be the first time that a lot of folks get to see inside. But if you've never seen inside the customs house here, please feel free to join us on a brief tour. That is a vital part of bringing folks in internationally to do business. And we have, as I explained, there's 16 different countries represented just in this immediate area that have international connections. So, Mr. Mayor?
Congressman, once again, thank you. On behalf of the City Council, we appreciate you taking the time out of your very busy schedule. We know that you've worked really hard for us up there in Washington. You're a great voice for us. Appreciate that, specifically our area. And so, City Council, we're very grateful for you to be here. The rest of the City of Monroe, you know, on behalf of them, thank you as well. You know, I mean, like, this is, as Mark said, the hottest area, I believe, in all of North Carolina. We have good people here. We have a lot of opportunity, and we just want to keep that going. To the rest of y'all for coming today, thank you so much. I'm very proud of each and every one of you, all of our staff, all the people in our committees, the hard work and the advice that you give to us and to our city council as well. You know, I know that, you know, it doesn't go without saying that y'all are very important process of this. You know, so thank you guys. So I'm gonna give you all a round of applause. Thank you. Our airport commission does a fantastic job. And then once again, I do want to applaud our finance, because that's big. Miss Strickland, yes. But then also our airport facility staff and our economic development as well. You know, because all of this together is really making Monroe, I believe, the greatest city in North Carolina. So thank you. So with that said, any other closing remarks from any of you guys? Okay. At this time, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn. I second that.
I have a motion second. All those in favor? Thank you all. God bless you.
Congressman, we'll just go right out this door and right back over to the